Hi everyone, Gary Digital Williams. We're live at the Rise Educational Center here in Southeast Washington, D.C. We just finished the weigh-in for the Tricky Entertainment and D.C. Fight Night card that will be taking place at the Entertainment Sports Arena, which is literally right around the corner from where we are right now, as we're getting ready for the big event coming up here tomorrow night. We're going to talk to you a little bit about time changes and things of that nature, and of course, we're going to go over the card real quickly. I'm joined, of course, by Juan Marshall, and Juan, we have, first thing you notice come off the bat is that we have some very, very confident out-of-town boxers coming in for this card here tonight.
Yeah, fighters, I guess they heard about their opponents, and I guess when they're coming in, they're feeling confident, so they want to leave. And that's the magnitude of this card. You know,
Right.
first card at this venue, you know, to open up boxing and at the Entertainment Sports Arena. And I think the fighters are excited about that, and they want to be part of it.
Yeah. Well, 8 bouts on the card tonight, and the card, we've been telling you the card is going to start at 5 p.m. It will actually start at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. 7 p.m. Eastern Time is the first bout here tonight. And, of course, our main event, again, as you know by now, Dusty Harrison no longer on the card, but Tory Nelson will take on Zaher Turnoo. She is from Tuusula, Finland, and it's a 10-round bout for Nelson's UBF middleweight title.
That's going to be a very interesting one. Well, we know Tory Nelson.
Right.
Always hungry, always a come-forward fighter. She's a fighter that takes punches to give punches, and that's how she's always been. Was phenomenal. I never seen her fight before, but I'm pretty sure that she's game because she knows that her opponent's going to be tough, and I think she's going to be up for it.
Turner has fought for a world title. She fought a title in Paisley, England, lost a 10-round decision there. But she is not as experienced as Nelson. She's only had 5 pro bouts. So it'll be interesting to see what she does against Tory Nelson tonight.
And I think that's the advantage that Tory has. You know, she's been all over the world now, basically fighting for championships.
Right.
And that she's been fighting for championships for a long time. So this fight here is nothing new to her. She's going to be getting confident. She's fought in front of TV. She fought out of the country. She's fought for titles, like I said, all the time. So this fight right here, she's another day of work for her.
No question about it. So, meanwhile, Kareem Martin is on the card. He'll be in an 8-round bout against Andrew Rogers of Elkhart, Indiana. Again, one of those confident boxers. He talked a lot of trash, and they had a little bit of a altercation going in that bout. By the way, Nelson's weight is 155.8. Zaher Turnoo 158.2. Martin came in at 149, and Rogers came in at 145, I believe it was. And so that'll be about coming up 8 rounds.
Yeah, Martin, I'm pretty sure he's hungry. You know, he's looking for a fight. You know, he's 10-2, and he needs to win to put himself back into the mix of his career, basically. Right. You know, he's been training hard for this fight. I know he has, and his opponent, like you say, is confident. His opponent is not going to let his record intimidate him. He's not going to let the quality of fights that Kareem Martin brings to the table affect him, and he's coming for it. Look to me like he's coming for a knockout. Okay,
we'll see what happens there. Kareem Martin taking on Andrew Rogers. At the light heavyweight division, a little over light heavyweight tonight, Alexander the Great Johnson out of Oxon Hill, Maryland. He's 177.8. He'll take on Mengistu Zaher, who is originally from Liberia, and now he's known as the Dynamic Warrior, and he is now fighting out of Palm Park, Maryland. Zeke Thompson trains him. That should be an interesting bout.
Yeah, Zeke always keeps somebody in his stable, so this fight's going to be very interesting to see. And Alexander Johnson hasn't been in the ring for a minute, so he's going to be coming in, maybe looking for something that he's looking forward to fighting, you know, and he's going to have something to prove when he comes in. And I think he's going to be up for that challenge also.
Should be an interesting one indeed. Alexander Johnson against Zaher. Now, coming into the weigh-in, and we had to wait a little bit for the weigh-in to start, but everybody that we talked to was talking about one particular bout on this card that a lot of people are, to our confidence, the opponent, the guy on the B side, let's say, is very confident about this bout. We're talking about Sam Crossett, the Vanilla Gorilla. He's taking on a guy by the name of Tuan Smith, and he is out of Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. Crossett came in 189.6. Tuan Smith came in 187.6. And Tuan Smith only lost one time. That was to an undefeated boxer. And he says he has something special for Sam Crossett tomorrow night.
Now he's one that shows a lot of confidence.
No question.
And I'm pretty sure he's staying behind his skills. And the sparring I heard that he has,
right?
You know, it's going to make a difference, I think, in this fight.
You know, tell him who he sparred with.
And he's been in with Sergey Kovalev. I think it was 8 weeks he was over there.
Yeah.
8 weeks. So he's pulled a lot out of that sparring that he's going to bring to this fight. And the thing with that is, you look at his sparring compared to the bouts that Sam Crawford has faced. Smith's sparring has overwhelmed the competition that Sam Crawford coming into this fight.
Well, you know, it's interesting because Smith has not fought a lot of great people himself. In fact, again, the one win he had was one loss he had, I should say, was against an undefeated boxer. He was 6-0 at the time. So, he's fought a couple debuting boxing. He fought one guy twice who was 1-9 and 1-11. So, it'll be interesting to see what happens going into this bout. That's one that, again, everybody's talking about here.
Yeah, and I think it's with this particular bout, I think it's the preparation that both fighters bring in coming into this fight. And I think that's what's going to make the difference. I talked to Sam, and he says that he's been preparing something totally different the way that he's been preparing before. And like I said, with Smith, he's been over there with Kovalev, and that definitely prepared him for a fight like this. And that's the thing that I think is going to be very interesting to see what both fighters bring out of their training camps.
Right. Should be interesting. Sam Crawford taking on Tuan Smith, a big battle. A lot of people talking about on this card here tomorrow night. Antonio Teflon McGruder, he returns after a long absence, takes on probably the busiest boxer in all of boxing right now. That's Matt Murphy out of St. Louis, Missouri. McGruder out of D.C., 147. Matt Murphy came in 144.8. But for Matt Murphy in particular, this is his 11th bout this year, going after 17 bouts last year. So we'll see.
The activity of that fighter, with Murphy, it's with a fighter like that, he stayed busy. So this is another just a trip to work for him. And to have going into his 37th fight, you know, with, like you said, 11 being this year, this fight right here for McGruder is going to be a tough fight. Because McGruder has been out of the ring for a little while. You know, and for him to come back, you know, McGruder's talented. We know him to be a talented fighter. But like I said, his inactivity is going to be the difference in this fight right here, facing a guy, like you said, 11 fights.
Right. McGruder's not been in since 2016. He and Alexander Johnson kind of been out at the same time. So that's going to be very interesting to see what happens there. So McGruder taking on Matt Murphy. George Harris out of Silver Spring, Maryland, heavyweight, 218 pounds, taking on Lamar Lewis, 235.2 pounds. Harris impressed some people in his pro debut, so we'll see what happens here.
Yeah, Harris, he looks, for his first fight, we saw him in his first fight in Bowie State. I think it was, at Rosecroft. We saw him at Rosecroft. And very, very skilled fighter. And, of course, you cannot overlook the fact that he has Andrew Counsell in his corner. A guy who's been fighting in world caliber fights with Keith Holmes and those guys. So he came up with those guys in that realm and era. And he's known for the body shots. And he knows how to train fighters, and he prepares fighters right. He knows the business side of it. So Harrison has the right person in his corner to make this fight interesting. And I think with a 4-rounder, I think he's going to do pretty much what he did in the last fight. So
George Harris taking on Lamar Lewis, 4-round bout in heavyweight division. Jordan Short Dog White back in action. Once again, just fought a few weeks ago. And won there. So he's taking on Nadira Spearman. Both guys around the same weight, I should say. Jordan White 128, Nadira Spearman 128.2.
Yeah, I had the opportunity to talk to Jordan White a couple of days ago, and at that time he was 20 days out of his last fight.
Right.
And that was on November 8th. I talked to him on the 28th. He was coming off November 8th fight, first round knockout. Now he's going right back in tomorrow.
Right.
So we're talking under a month. He's had 2 fights. And I think they're going right back at it in January.
Right.
So those guys are going to be real aggressive. And I think Jordan White is going to do what everyone expected him to do. You know, he had the one loss on his belt, you know, and it was a tough fight for him. Very tough fight for him, which is a good thing. He didn't lose against anybody with no record. He lost against a couple, I think it was Perez, he lost against. And Perez was an up-and-coming fighter at that point. And Jordan took something away from it, and he was coming off a hand injury also going into the Bowie State card, which I think that was back in August. I want to say
September.
That was in September. So so actually you're saying September, 2 in November, and then I think he's going to go right back on. No, it's actually the first. So you might as well say 2 in the month, and he's going to go right back into it in the beginning of next year. So Jordan's going to bring a lot to this fight, and everybody's excited for him. He has a nice crowd to come watch him fight.
Definitely.
And that's one thing that this venue is going to going to actually capitalize on these fighters bringing the fans to watch them fight in a venue that can actually handle.
No question about it. So once again, Jordan White taking on Nadir Spearman, both guys around the same weight at 128 plus. And Keontae Irving, the Golden Gloves champion out of Beaver Falls, Pennsylvania, he's taking on George Sheppard out of Virginia. And Irving came in 163.4. Sheppard came in 163.8. Irving, a lot of people talking about him coming out of the amateurs.
Yeah, based on your amateur background and what you did in the amateurs, that definitely takes a toll and makes a difference on your professional career, how you start your professional career. So based on that, the expectations of your professional career, people are looking to have some outstanding things from you. And we'll find out tonight where it starts.
Yep, no question about that. And also, a couple bouts fell out tonight. Dominic Wade bout. He had a couple of opponents. He was here for the weigh-in, but no one's here, so he's out. And also Terrell Boyd, who's scheduled to make his pro debut on this card out of Baltimore, Maryland. He will be out. He will not be on the contest tonight. So we get ready for tomorrow. Our first card, I should say, in the dynamic December of Beltway Boxing. That'll be Saturday, December 1st. We're on the air at 6:55 p.m. from the Entertainment Sports Arena, and the 7 p.m. start for that one. And, of course, 1 week from Saturday, we're at Bowie State University, A.C. Jordan Arena for the Shabazz Brothers and Shabazz Brothers card. Big card there. We'll talk more about that during the week. And then 2 weeks from tomorrow, we're at the Tyson's Playground in Vienna, Virginia. A lot of changes on that card, unfortunately. Patrick Harris, Tariq Irby, along with Ronaldo Gaines, all off that card. We're hoping to get you another podcast this week. We won't be able to do it, but we'll tell you now that, once again, Ronaldo Gaines, Tariq Irby, Patrick Harris. Well, Patrick Harris is actually questionable for the card, but look like he may be out too. But definitely, Tariq Irby's out, Ronaldo Gaines is out. So a lot of the local guys, Marlon the Machine Bowling scheduled to be on that card, Rashad Cole, Luke Kilpatrick, also Wanda Xavier Rodriguez scheduled to be on that card as well. So we do have some Beltway boxers, not the biggest names, but they'll give some excitement. Of course, also the guys at TAC Promotions put on some good out-of-town boxers to balance the card.
So basically, Beltway Boxing is closing out the month of December very strong. You have dates on the 1st, which is tomorrow. Yeah. The 8th, the Bowie State. And like I said, we out in Tyson's on the 15th.
Yeah.
But tomorrow night is the one that's going to kick everything off, making history right here, opening up the event center with Tricky Entertainment Promotions. And they're going to put a great card on for them.
No question about it. Hope to see you here live from the Entertainment Sports Arena tomorrow night. Once again, we're on the air at 6:55 p.m. About the card schedule started at 7 p.m. Look forward to seeing you here. If not, you can join us right here on the Box on Beltway Podcast Network. For Juan Marshall, I'm Gary Digit Williams saying so long from the Rise Educational Center, and we'll see you tomorrow night from right around the corner at Entertainment Sports Arena. Take care, everybody.